Hello, guys, and welcome to yet another YouTube session. I hope you guys are enjoying the content that we're giving you. And without wasting any time, let's get down to business. So, guys, today I'm going to be looking at 7 pairs. Is it 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pairs. Yes, I'll be looking at 7 pairs, namely the DXY, USDJPY, USDCAD, CADJPY, German 30, US 100, and then I'll wrap up with US 30. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get down to business. So basically today I've already done the setups. So what I can do right now, maybe I could just break down one pair, which is DXY, as to what I'm seeing right now with DXY, ladies and gentlemen. So now when we start on DXY, if I could just go quickly to the weekly time frame, real quick, what I can see here on the weekly time frame, then we'll drop it down to. So what we can see here, guys, on the DXY, we can see that this clearly was our top, right? This clearly was our top, and then we have a bottom right here. And then what's happening here is that we can clearly see that the market is giving us this impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, right? We know what the market is doing, so we can clearly outline already what is happening on this side, right? We can see that we have, remember, the first two touches are the ones that are most important. So we have the 1 and then the 2, and then we're waiting for the third touch. Okay, so now here when we look at the bottom of the structure, obviously again we're going to do the same thing. So this is what we have. So now we have that 1, 2 impulse correction continuation type of formation, of which our area of interest is all the way up here. So we'll be waiting for price to push all the way to the upside. Okay, so obviously what we can see from this structure is that we want to see price get to these areas before it goes down, or not, it gets to break these tops before it goes down, which would be even a better position. So if we go to the daily real quick, let me just quickly go to the daily. There we go. So what we can see here on the daily is that price has broken out of this structure. It has broken these areas. Okay, it has broken these areas here, the previous highs. So now price is at the new highs. So now if I just zoom in right here, this was my last area of confluence, right? This was my last area wherein I wanted to see if price will come and react, right? So now I'm just going to put that there and put this one down here. So now what I want to understand is that if I'm going to sell this price from this top, I want to see this price coming down here, giving me that nice correction to say that the trend is changing, right? Other than that, I will be waiting for this price to give me a complete structure to continue to the upside, right? Because obviously we can see we are from the impulse correction, impulse, and then from that, what is happening here, this looks more like a continuation for me. So depending on how it plays out, guys, we'll be waiting to see how this price plays out. So from what I can see here is that there is a possibility that we can get this touch and then this touch before going to the upside. So already that is all the information that I have on the daily. So if I quickly go to the 4 hour, there's nothing much to do here on the 4 hour. There's nothing much to do here on the 4 hour. So guys, what you can just check here on the 4 hour is that there are two things involved here. If this price doesn't get to the third touch up here, just know that we might get what we call an override, a double top override right here, right? So we just wait and see what price will give us, and then we'll be waiting to take those trades just as how price is telling us, right? So, but then if you can just check here from what I'm seeing, because we already have this impulse. Oops. We already have this impulse here to here. Why is this thing doing that? I want to take this impulse here. Oh, starting in the middle. Okay. So this impulse like this. So there's a possibility that we might go all the way up there. So we'll just be monitoring what price will do, because obviously here we can see what's happening inside the structure. All right, so this is the 90. There's nothing yet. So we just want to see, guys. Let's just wait and see what price will do when it comes here, right? So if this price comes here, then obviously we'll be expecting it to take it to the upside, just like that, right? So without wasting any time, let's quickly go to USDJPY. So USDJPY, we have almost the same situation as DXY. Remember, guys, these pairs they almost follow the same thing when it comes to DXY, right? So it is positively related with DXY. So what I could see is just that we are from the impulse and we're in the correction, and then we're waiting for this correction to complete before we go to the upside, right? So that's basically what we're waiting for on USDJPY. Okay, guys. So USDCAD, we've been chasing USDCAD for quite some time right now. So it is still showing us some nice moves or what might come out of it. Okay, so this is what we have on USDCAD. We have this structure going there, approaching correctively, right? So now what we want to focus on is just the last leg of structure. What is happening on the last leg, right? So what we can see is that we have 1, 2, and then now we are waiting for this price to see what is going to happen if we're going to get the push to the downside. So if I just quickly go to the 4 hour, remember guys, this is what we have. This is what I have on the 4 hour. So what I can see here on the 4 hour, I can see that price is clearly broken out of the previous these highs. So what can happen now is that now I want to see this price now. I want to see this price pushing to the upside in some sort of a correction, right? In some sort of a correction for it to give me that final confirmation to say that this price will then, I'll take a risk entry all the way at the upside for it to go to the downside, right? So I'll just be waiting. Remember, it also plays out with DXY, so I'll just be waiting for a move like that and then to go to take it to the downside, right? So now when we look to CADJPY, nothing much has changed, guys. Nothing much has changed. Let me just quickly go to the daily. So this is what we have on CADJPY. We had the structure here of which price broke out. Now when we go to the weekly, now we have this area, we have this area of significant right here. So if we go to the weekly and I draw a structure right here, because I can see we have a base here, and then now we have this, right? This is what we have. So what we can be waiting for now, because you can see guys, this is clear, this is as clear as it is. So this one broke here, this one here, right? So this is where we are in structure. So now if I just zoom in, if I just zoom in right there, let me just put it nicely. So if I just zoom in right there, you can clearly see what's happening. We have this impulse correction, then now we are there, we have a strong impulse, right? We have a strong impulse right there. So what we are waiting for right now, guys, is nothing much, because we can see that, okay, we had this expanding formation of which it went out and broke out of our structure. But for it to confirm that this price is going to go back to the downside, we want to see price now. What we want to see is price breaking back into our structure like it's doing now. Break back into our structure, give us a correction, and then we'll be willing to take it to the downside. Okay, we'll be willing to take it to the downside just like that. So now when we look at German 30 is more or less the same with all other indices. So from what I can see, it's just that we are from this strong impulse. Now we are forming a bigger flag. We're in the amber zone. We have the 1. We have the 1, the 2 here. Then we have 1, 2 here. We're waiting for this to be our second touch to go to the upside. Then from this upside, that's when we'll wait for price to come back to the downside. Simple and straightforward. Simple and straightforward here on German 30. So even if I look at the 4-hour time frame, which is my higher time frame, still the same thing. We have a near miss. We're coming from an impulse. Now we have this correction. Now we just want to see this correction play out, finish, and then obviously we'll wait for it to come here, okay? So again, another thing which is possible is that if this price then breaks this correction of ours, there's a possibility that we might get a bigger flag like this, right? We might get a bigger flag like this, which is the outside, and then this price might push all the way to here before it goes to the downside. So those are just the probable and the possible, guys. Remember, you must not be married to your bias, okay? So you must know what will happen between the probable and the possible. So now, when I look at US NAS 100, it's almost the same thing here with NAS 100. I have the 1, I have the 2, I have the 1, I have the 2, and then here we come back here correctively. So I'm expecting that price here, from what I can see already on the smaller time frame, we had an impulse. So what we'll be waiting for is a correction to say that we'll be continuing to the upside, and then we'll enter these trades to go to the upside from here. And then as you can see, overall this is a correctional structure, and obviously when it gets to the upside, we'll be waiting to take it to the downside. Simple and straightforward. And then also, without wasting any time, I want to keep this as short as possible, guys. So without wasting any time, now we have US30, almost the same thing as NAS 100. We're coming from the impulse, now we have the correction, and then now here's our middle section going down correctively. So after this correction, obviously we are waiting for 1, 2, 3 at the bottom, and then a move to the upside. And then obviously when we get to the upside, that is when we'll be waiting to take a move to the downside. Okay, so if it does not play out like this, also remember, guys, the move can also be something like this. It can play out like this, right? It can also play out like this, and then it goes down from here. Okay, and then if it plays out like this, then we'll just be getting what? A head and shoulder kind of formation, right? We'll just be getting a head and shoulder kind of formation if it plays out like that. So it's simple and straightforward, guys. It's just a matter of focusing on what is possible and what is probable, right? So just make sure. So when you check the price, we'll be giving updates obviously in our premium groups as to how to enter these trades. So if you are not in our premium groups, make sure you highlight us and you join the premium groups, because we'll be telling you how to enter this trade. So if there is nothing more, guys, I wish you the best of luck. Remember, this is not financial advice. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. So guys, enjoy your week. Cheers. Not Capital signing out.